Don't complain. Don't say what you want out loud. Like, how dare you say what you keep quiet about the things that you want? This hustle culture got y'all in a chokehold. Listen, you are overwhelmed, exhausted, and feeling burnt out because you were conditioned to hustle and to grind. Okay, to know your worth and increase your value by being the first one in and the last one out. That conditioning is costing you the very thing that's going to help you to get your wealth in 2026 this year. And that's your peace. And because our parents inherited it, their parents inherited it, we all kind of inherited this, put all this action and backbending work into building wealth. That rarely gets you wealth. And I'm not saying this to shame anybody or knock anybody, okay? Because our previous generations, they did what they had to do to survive. Survival mode does not allow you to make smart decisions. You make rushed decisions. You make decisions out of scarcity. You out here saying yes when you should be saying no. You out here stretching yourself thin and settling for things that you know you can do better with. Rachel Rogers is an author, and I've read a couple of her books, and she in fact teaches that saying no, setting boundaries is a wealth strategy. And this video is about strategizing how to get wealth in 2026. My name is Nikila Sutton. I help purpose-driven professionals to incorporate emotional intelligence strategies into their real life so they can make smarter decisions, build stronger relationships, earn well, and do it all without burning out. So if that's what you're looking for in 2026, you are in the right place, friends. Let's get into it. Now, let me tell you about a time that I was not doing this. Okay, people would call me and assume that I was available because I looked available. I was approachable. On Teams, my status was set to green. If they sent me a ping and said, "Hey, Nikila, can you help me with something?" I was Johnny on the spot, like, "Yep, I can help. Move my stuff to the side. Let me help you with your stuff." That really played on me. And it wasn't until I was double booked into two very important meetings that I actually wanted to participate in. And I'm messaging one meeting because I didn't realize I was even double booked until I got that 15-minute pop-up, that reminder that, hey, you have a meeting coming up in 15 minutes. And it was 2. And I was like, oh. So then I'm like messaging one meeting like, hey, I'm going to be late. I'll be there 15 minutes late. Going to the other one, like, I'm going to have to drop at the bottom of the hour just so that I could kind of set some expectations because I'm being pulled, stretched thin, right? Being stretched to capacity. And then I realized as I had one foot in this meeting and another foot in that meeting that I'm not doing stellar work. This isn't stellar. This isn't how I prefer to show up. Like a scatterbrain, right? Trying to like, okay, and then getting over here and trying to, no. So after that day, I said, listen, Keela, we're not getting ready to continue this. Okay. What I started doing to protect my peace was I started blocking time on my calendar that I call focus time. If it's a meeting for one, yes, it's a meeting with myself. And during that meeting, I can focus on my work, whatever it is that I'm working on. And I also started looking at meeting invites ahead of time and saying, when I got the meeting invite, I said, how much energy is this going to take? What is required of me to show up in this meeting the way that wealthy people show up in their meetings? Yeah. What's it going to take? So then if I'm required to, let's say, present or be prepared with information or something that's going to take more energy than just attending the meeting, I look at the rest of my day. By the time I get to this meeting on this particular day, am I going to have the energy that's required for me to show up like a wealthy person would show up in this meeting? If the answer was yes, I accepted it. If the answer was no, I suggested a different date and time where I could show up fully confident like wealthy people show up in their meetings. That small change with my calendar opened up so much for me. I got my creativity back. I got my clarity back. I'm able to contribute the way that I want to contribute and show up in the way that I want to show up with my peace. Listen, this is a direct quote from Oprah. She said, "The more at peace you are with yourself, the more abundance flows into your life. Peace is not a luxury. It's a wealth generator." So here's how you can start investing in your peace this year. Pay attention to what drains you and what excites you. If it excites you, do more of it. Lean into that. Now, obviously, I know some people are going to say, well, my job drains me. And if I don't show up for that, then I don't get no money. I can't pay my mortgage or my rent. I can't pay my car note, yada, yada, yada. I know. Yes, I get it. What about your job drains you? Is it the people? Is it the actual work? You have to do some work there. Sit down, figure out what specifically about this job that in the beginning you prayed to get. You pray for this job. What now does not serve you well? Write it down. This is important. What excites you? Write it down. That's also important. This is where we're going to start finding ways to create some emotional space for yourself, some emotional boundaries. Give yourself some margin, some cushion, some elbow room, if you would. So the elbow room, this is your grace, okay? This is your space to be a human. You're allowed that. You're allowed to rest. And you need that space, especially if you're doing work that you don't like, okay? But even if you're doing work you like, I love my job, but guess what? I got elbow room because I create myself that space to be able to do it. And you need to do the same in 2026 if wealth is what you're building. Finally, celebrate your wins. Look for your wins. Look for a reason to celebrate. Celebrating your wins keep you grounded in celebration. It keeps you grounded and confident in what you're doing. You're not performing resilience in this scarcity mindset where you're holding on to dear life and just trying to make it. You going for the win, and you know that you're getting the wins because you're celebrating your wins. Celebrate it with, I don't know, a scoop of ice cream if that's what you're into, maybe some jewelry or a trip. I like to celebrate with trips. I love traveling. But whatever you want to celebrate yourself with, celebrate yourself. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate doing what you said you were going to do. In fact, start by this list of what you like, what you don't like, and then create yourself some human space, some elbow room, some margins, if you would, and then celebrate that first step that you took. Because when you protect your peace and you invest in your peace, then the wealth you get is cleaner. It's easier to get because you're more aligned with the wealth. You're not chasing it. You just aligned yourself. You know what they say? When you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. Now, if this message hit home, hit subscribe, follow me for more tips. Now, tell me in the comments, what's one thing that you're no longer sacrificing this year in 2026 in order to protect your peace? I'll talk with you guys later, friends. Bye.